Hey everybody, it's Steve. I put together another video. I know everybody's saying, "Oh Lord, who taught him to get a camera? Who taught him how to work a camera?" I figured out on my own. Yeah, sure did. I figured it out on my own. Anyway, I want to take this time. Got a little message to drop for you, whatever. But anyway, I want to take this time to respond to a couple comments that I got or whatever, real quick. I'm not going to name any names because I don't like to do that or whatever. But I had a fella ask me, you know what? He said, "Well, who is this guy? And what is he trying to hide? Because his Facebook page don't tell us a lot." Well, to be honest with you, I don't like to post everything I am on Facebook. I don't like to tell everybody what my business or tell everybody it's none of your damn business. All right, first of all. And if you judge me by the way my Facebook looks, and I really don't think I want you part of my life anyway. However, the fact is I understand if I'm being on social media, then there's certain things I got to do and not do, I guess. Can't cuss on here; they get mad about that. And then I had another comment. So anyway, that addresses that comment. I mean, I ain't let me address it. I ain't got nothing to prove. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I'm not doing it for anybody to get publicity, get money, or be a big show star, or publicity hound, or anything like that. There's no benefit to me doing this. Matter of fact, it's probably going to be a backlash because I'm sure the city of Huntington ain't going to really like whatever I got to say all the time. But I'm going to tell you the truth. And he said, "Well, you're hiding something." I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "If you don't want to know something, just come ask me. I mean, I don't have to put it on the Facebook or whatever. If you want to know something, just ask me outright. Ask me what I was hiding." I said, "Shit, I hide a lot of stuff." Used to hide my liquor from my wife, but now she found that out. But I stopped drinking, so hey. But I used to hide a lot of shit, so I wouldn't get in trouble. But the fact of the matter is that I'm sorry you feel that way. And if you want to know more about me, then you know what? Hey, just keep watching the videos. Catch me in town. Um, you know, put on your side and talk to them. We do have a thing. We used to have a long time ago. It's called a conversation, where you didn't have to have a computer to talk to people. Or you actually had a conversation where you spoke instead of typed. Um, I guess a lot of time people want to go on Facebook because they feel like they can say whatever they want to say. They can say out their real feelings or whatever. Well, yeah, that's probably true. But I look at it this way. I'm like, you know what? If you're going to say all the things you're going to say on Facebook, why couldn't you just tell me? I don't know. That's just me. I also wanted to respond to another viewer who came back in and said that, talk about an individual, talking about, of course, our mayor. Okay, and I'm not trying to get in trouble with the mayor, but I will. But uh, we were talking about our mayor, and we had a discussion on that, and then she's one who told me. She said, "You know what?" She said, "It's not that I don't like him. It's just the fact is that what? He's been here in Huntington for so long, and he thinks that he really pretty much kind of owns the city." Now I don't really know if he wants to say that he owns the city. What I do know is he's been here a long time. He's set in his ways. And he's got an idea of how Huntington should be. And that's commendable because the fact is, what, he got an idea. you know, Anybody's got an idea. I got a little respect for him anyway. But anyway, she was telling me that she was up at the Centennial Park and she was running for city council. He had to come up to her and cuss her out and tell her that there would be a cold day in hell before she served on the city council, and all this, just putting her down. Now, you want to say something like that to somebody, you call them on the phone and say that to them, but out in front of God and everybody, I mean, that's embarrassing, first of all. And it's just, first of all, it's just the way you don't treat people. I mean, you just don't go up there and start cussing and hollering, you know, unless they really made you mad. Now, if you come over and kill somebody's chickens and stuff, hell, I can see that. Or you taking your four-wheeler and driving around all your damn, or on your roads and everything, and you can't get through. Yeah, I can see where you get a little pissed and cuss a little bit, but just because somebody's doing something you don't agree with, but they're in their rights to do it, shouldn't be cussing cussing at them and telling them what he thinks of him and what they're worth or whatever. Especially not in front of the car, in the park, not in front of the kids. Take that crap outside, man. Dang, get out. Y'all get off in a room somewhere. Hell, shut the door and then see who comes out first. But anyway, that's kind of unprofessional. And everybody that I spoke to have agreed with me that that's kind of an unprofessional thing to say. And it's been known that in our city of Huntington, we have a tendency, and a certain a group where they think they can say anything wherever they want to say it, and it'd be all right. It's all right, you know. They don't care if they offend you. By God, I'll tell you what, they'll be the first one to tell you if they offended them. So anyway, that kind of goes through, and I want to let the lady know I'm sorry. I apologize. I just apologize for hearing somebody did that. You know, they treated you that way. It doesn't really matter who he is, whatever. The issue is that was done, and that's not. You just don't do that in a public setting. Um, but he did get his point across, I guess. So, but what I want to talk about today, anyway, I addressed those two subjects or whatever. What I wanted to talk today about is I'm kind of gonna lighten up because I'm still doing some research on the city, and I found some stuff out, but I don't really think I want. I want to make dang sure before I say anything, and I'm kind of waiting on some information from the city to confirm it, but I haven't got that yet. So, um, but anyway, I wanted to talk about Huntington and Huntington's pride. I mean, and let me tell you what I think about that, because the fact that there's a lot of small towns, especially in East Texas or in Texas in general, that take pride in their school. I mean, their school uh, kind of speaks for the town. It kind of represents the town, and other towns and other places we go. You're from Huntington, and then there's a certain reputation. If you're in high school, what you get from Huntington, or middle school, or whatever. And the first thing that I want to address is the fact is that yes, I believe that right now we should support every athletic endeavor out there: football, basketball, baseball, track, volleyball, whatever these kids do, kickball. I don't know. Whatever these kids do, we should at least suit up and show up to their games. Not just mamas and daddies, but people in Huntington show up. There's some cities here in East Texas that after a football game, they go to the barbershop and they'll sit there all day, all night until mama calls them to come home, drinking coffee about the football team. Who they gonna play next? Not all this. They have a whole conversation. It is, but it's really not about the subject. What it is it's like there's a group of people in the town from different walks of life that are sitting there having a conversation about a common interest they both have that represents the town. Okay, so sporting events, yeah, I support 110%. Support them, and they work hard out here. I mean, I go by here over at the middle school. I see them out there in the heat practicing, and I remember back in my day, and I'm like, I don't know how the heck they doing that, man. And also with everybody else, see the track members running and all this, all the sports teams, you kind of see them out working out or whatever. But I want to go in a little bit deeper into your schools and stuff. And how many times do we hear about a chess team? How many times do we hear about a science team, a project that they're working on, or something they're trying to prove, and they're using the city elements to do it, making experiments and stuff. How many times do we hear about scientific endeavors that our schools do, mathematic endeavors that our kids go through, are going through, uh, plays, those such things, whatever happened to hearing about them, I mean, they work just as hard in their own way as everybody else does. I mean, they got to study and they got to study all at chess and everything. I never was good at chess because I couldn't think more than two moves ahead of the time. And the second was wrong. But what happened to us supporting our school on all levels, on every endeavor that they do, grade school all the way up to high school? You know, um, if there's an event going on, go to the chess match. Go up there and see what's going on. You may not like chess, you may not, but you get there and you get to talk to somebody. Um, Very intelligent fellow taught me one time, that hey, it's good just to talk to people. It's good to talk to people, but it ain't good to talk about people. That's why this fella told me one time, he said, you know what, he said, if people talking about me, I don't really give a damn. I was like, well, you know what, you should, that's what I thought at the time. No, you know what, if they talking about me, they just give us somebody else's turn break. Whatever they're talking about, I already know about it anyway, so I don't need to hear it again. So, I want to support our football teams, and I want to support our endeavors, or just education in period. Because the fact is that whether we like it or not, these children are going to grow up and they need to be prepared for the real world. I'm not just talking about kids going to college, okay? We know that there's going to be individuals that can't go to college for one reason or another. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe the family can't afford it right now, or whatever. It doesn't mean they can't go in the future, but I'm just saying right now it's not feasible for them to go to school, so they're going to have to go to work. Um, and also going to college, or whatever endeavor that they're going to do when they hit reality of the real life. They need to be properly prepared for it in all aspects. Uh, I mean, uh, I don't believe majoring in football is going to get you an engineering job somewhere. I don't think that. So you might want to spread your education out a little bit. You know, and we have people that are willing to do that, especially here in the state of Texas. We've got teachers that foot the bill sometimes to get materials to support something that they're teaching. Um, with kids getting to do hands-on, oh, okay, instead of just read about it in book, they get to do it. And that's why in the Marine Corps, that was our saying, see one, do one, teach one. Somebody's got to teach, and basically on the salaries that they're paying teachers nowadays, I mean, uh, how many people aspire in high school to be a teacher? You know, uh, it's not got any, uh, I guess, perks or whatever. I mean, you're a school teacher, and people don't really hold that in high regard, maybe of bearing the social status or whatever, because you just go to teach school, and so you tell them, I teach fifth graders or I teach sixth graders. Well, they just automatically assume that's your level of capability right there. You don't know more than the fifth grade, and that's BS right there. But the fact of the matter is what people don't understand is that these kids' years, they go into that schoolhouse for a good part of the year now, okay? And that person is with them 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day, okay? And they're teaching them how to deal with reality of the real world, of what may come up, or at least have the senses, the knowledge to be able to deal with it. Now, you can say what you want to about teachers or whatever because they're very proud and they want to stand up for themselves. And the fact of the matter is, they should. There's a lot of things that we have in teachers that, but you know what needs to be fought for? It starts in the Congress. It starts everywhere. Okay. But I've come to believe, and what I understand and what I'm trying to get through on these videos is the fact is, you know what? It starts ground roots. Ground roots. Most of the teachers I don't know, most of the teachers that I do know, okay, they're really not in it for the money. Okay. Really not in for the insurance plan. They really aren't. That's not their major goal. They enjoy teaching kids something. They feel like their job's done because they've actually made this child a better person today. How many jobs can you say that? How many times does your kids, especially, we had our niece come out and stay with us, or my grandbaby, and she came out and stayed with us, and she went to school, and I guarantee you, it reminded me back when I was in school, whatever. She knew her teacher's name. She knew everything. She knew what class number she was in. She knew where to go, and everything. When she got that schoolhouse, there was just little more step in there because I'm going to school. I'm going to go see Miss So and So, and I'm going. And then you got them kids walking down the hall. You know what? And everybody's like, "Hey, Miss So, hey, Miss So and So." That's where the community starts right there. How many times you go back in your life right now? I remember him. He used to coach. He used to coach football. Or hey, I remember him. He's a science teacher. Oh, he taught the algebra. I never made it past that, but anyway, because the algebra kicked my butt. didn't know. I was too hard-headed to learn that. I don't know what X from Y and Z was. So, but that's what I'm saying. These teachers, they're the first person they see in the morning. Well, they see you, but then the first other person they see in the morning was the bus driver, and then they see the teacher. Spend a lot of time with that teacher around that high school. And the point is that we don't get is the fact is that they spend a lot of time at the high school and junior high or in their schools. And they daily experience that environment that they're in. And they learn something from that environment. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I got to stand in line to get my lunch. I can't go to the front of the line. I got to have a ticket for that. I bring my lunch. I got to go in this line. But it seems stupid. But the fact is that these kids are molded because the fact is there's a teacher out there somewhere that taught them how to take a ticket. Okay, or taught them where to stand in line. Okay, and told them what's acceptable and what's not acceptable behavior. So that's the first thing that we need to do is we need to actually look at our education system. I'm not saying look at an education system and see what rank we are as far as scores and stuff. That's important, I guess. But what I also want to look at is I want to look at the school and I'm going to look at and see, okay, is there some pride in going to school here? Are people proud when they go out somewhere? Kids proud to go out somewhere? I'm from Huntington. I don't see that. And I think that it's probably lost because our parents are not instilling the same values that our teachers are teaching. I remember, and I'm not saying I was an example or whatever, but I do know that whenever I was going to school on Friday, man, that was a big day when you were in high school. It was football day, and all the girls and everyone, everybody didn't play football, man. They were ready, man. They were ready for football. Even if you weren't on a football team, you got ready for football. We're playing such and such tonight. Man, if we win this game, you know what we're going to do. And everybody was into it. The whole school was into it. Nowadays, hell, you can get maybe 25 people up in the stands up there. And I'm guilty of it, of course, too, because the fact is, you know what, I don't go to football. I went to a couple football games. But anyway, I don't like cold weather, but anyway, but I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to go for football games, basketball games, baseball games. Just hang out, talk to people, you know. And that's what it's all about is these events that are given are for an opportunity for people to come together from different walks of Huntington to get to know each other on a different level. And if we do that, okay, then if we've got good intentions, we become a closer town. Now, the big problem that we have doing that is the fact is that like the individual that I was talking about first, and that's that when you meet somebody, and it's starting to be typical, or it is always been this way. I don't know, but when you meet somebody and they're trying to do the right thing, first thing, what is he getting out of this? You know, what's in it for him? You can't just be out here doing this, volunteering. No, what's in it for you? Well, we got to get away from that mentality because the fact is everybody ain't out there just trying to do something. Somebody's out there. Some people are just out there trying to do the right thing. Like when you go to church and preacher teacher, I don't care what religion you are. I mean, it don't make no difference. But I call preacher, but anyway, preacher, deacon, whoever, I don't. But anyway, you preacher, teacher. I mean, the preacher, he tells you what God wants you to have to give back to other people. Take care of your own people. Take care of things that that are important in your life or may be important in your life. But also look and reach out a hand and help somebody up. If somebody is just down on their luck, don't do it with your nose in the air thinking, no, hey man, don't worry about it, man. I got you. You know, I'll help you on this. You ain't got to tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I'd rather do that. I'll help you up. Don't tell nobody. I don't want nobody to know that not because I don't want nobody to know I did a nice thing for you. It's just the fact that I don't want to get around town that you know what I was trying to get something out of it. So it's a very slippery slope that we live in here in Huntington. And the fact is that I don't care where you go, what town you go to, and I will just get to the elephant in the room. There are certain people who decide on what class you belong in, and then you are put in that class and you're treated accordingly. Now that's been small towns ever since I've been through a lot of small towns. I was raised in small town, and the fact of the matter is, I was raised in small town. I think it's about as big as it is. Um, and it's always been that in a small town. And that's one of the drawbacks to a small town is because the fact is that you're not utilizing all the individual talent that you have in that town to come and fix what's wrong with the problem. Now we've got a problem in Huntington, okay, and it's been going on for a long time, okay. But the first thing to do to fix a problem is to recognize that you got a problem, and you got to identify that problem, and then it's going to take us, okay, or a group of people to help solve that problem, whatever it may be. So the fact of the matter is don't be looking at people. Look at what they bring. But look at what they bring to the table. You know, and you ain't gotta look too hard to. You ain't got if you spend all your time looking for something bad against somebody, you gonna find something. You gonna find something. Look for the good things in somebody. Oh, Joe Old down there, he drinks a lot of beer, but boy, he sure can well. You remember last time that hurricane came through? He was out there working 24 hours a day with us stuff. People got good qualities, man. Why don't we notice them instead of noticing bad qualities? Something to run people down with, you know. I don't know. It's been the way it always has been. But I'll bring it back to you this way. Let me give you an example here. Me and my wife were watching a movie that Patriots Day. I don't know if y'all seen it, boy. I like it. I've done seen it like twice, but it was about the Boston Marathon bombing. Okay, no, I'm not going Muslim on you. But anyway, there was a sergeant there in Boston there, and he had been working there for everybody. Everybody knew him. He knew everybody. He knew everything. And whenever it actually happened, when you know what happened, you can look up the YouTubes or whatever. But anyway, they were making a decision where do we post these pictures of these individuals that we get, because the fact is that do we want to let them know that we're looking for them or whatever. Well, some boy sat back there and he said, "Sir, let me explain something to you." He said, "Boston is a different city." He said, "Bostonians will do anything they can to help out their neighbor or somebody else." He said, right now, by not disclosing information to them, guess what? You got the city working against you. Instead of working to help you out, they're working against you. Think about that. Put that in your brain housing group for a second. Because the only way that any situation that's going to get done or going to get better than what we currently have right now is for us to do some work too. I know everybody's tired coming home from work, and that's the last thing you want to deal with. So for some mothers, it's like, you know what, the kids get home, and I remember we used to have times where Mama just had enough of me and my brother just to get out of the house. I don't care where you go, just get out of the house. Don't sit on the couch. Get out of the house. Well, I can't play them video games. I didn't practice when I was a kid. Got a kid that can make level 35 or something like that and want to play go and get the next game. Hell, they can't even read and write hardly. Something wrong with that picture. But Huntington is a town that has a lot of potential. But we determine what that potential is. What do we want it to be? What town do we actually want to have? Because we've got to start improving on our town. I mean, I don't think anybody here that watches these videos don't think that Huntington can be better than it is right now. And if you ever stop thinking that your town or an endeavor can't be better than what it already is, then yeah, that's just ain't the American way. We always try to make something better. You know? Even when we break it. My saying is, something done right, don't ask me. But we need to get together as Huntingtons and say, okay, this is what we want to do. Okay, identify the goal. Okay, start reaching it. Start going for it. We may never get there. We don't get halfway. But guess what? Better off than when we started. So we got to think about that and how that happened. Well, I've been calling for this meeting and everything. I'm looking into it, trying to see how many people will come or whatever. But the thing about it is that you know what? That's where the first start is. We got to start somewhere. We can't just let one or a group of people determine what's best for our city when they don't live here. Okay, or they don't work here, on the ground digging ditches, and they don't work in the oil field. They don't work in the city. They don't work in Lufkin. They don't have to drive like to go to work. They don't have to. They don't have to do some of the things that we have to do. Okay, to raise our kids, and also keep food on the table. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, how you gonna look at it, that Huntington is, okay, pretty much dependent upon the oil business. Okay, and jobs we get out of Lufkin and the surrounding areas. And the issue is, the fact is, you know what? When's the last time there's been a layoff at the city? Just think about that. It's been known, been said that in order to keep a couple of the city employees, they shuffle some money around, come up with ways they can keep them on, whatever. That's commendable. I wish my company would do that. Would have done that when I was working in construction. I wish somebody had done that. So instead of laying you off, we're gonna change your hours a little bit, and you ain't gonna be able to make, you ain't gonna make as much money, but whatever, Wish somebody had done that to me. Shit, work went out of you laid off, brother. There's the pink slip right there. Call you and go home. Want 500 plumbing. Just the way of life down there. It's seasonal. So the issue still remains of how we're going to get Huntington back and get that pride back that we have from being from Huntington. There's a lot of ways of doing that, and what's the biggest shame is the fact is that the people who have the greatest ideas, who have been here to Huntington or have been or are in Huntington, that have learned, okay, different areas of things where they're an expert in, okay, or they're pretty damn good at what they do. You could use some educated people in the infrastructure and engineering field down here. So we can set up a plan to when we build something here for roads or whatever it may be, it's going to last. We're going to actually be able to figure out where to put a school zone at and make it actually go into where the school zone actually at, where the kids actually get out and go to school. How many kids you see walking up and down here on 69? Never one. But you look out here on Gibson Street, okay, they all walk home here. They all catch the bus here. They walk to their places or whatever. But they go down Gibson. They don't go on 69. But the darn speed limit sign and the school zone sign is over here on Highway 69. Looks good to pass us by, don't it? Hell, people we live in Huntington. Hell, we know better. Kids don't go down that way. So these are the type of issues that we need to bring up and say, you know what, we spent money on that. You know, start looking at it as, that's my money. Because whether you like it or not, and when all push comes to shove, the fact is that every city official who works for the city of Huntington basically works for us. Now, we don't get to boss them around or nothing. We don't get to go tell them, boss them around, stuff like that. But what we do is we get to tell them this is what we want to get accomplished. Okay? This is a priority. The majority of the individuals in Huntington feel this way. This is a goal we want to reach. Now, if the city council's in the way or who's ever in the way, what my thing is right now is the fact is what I learned in the Marine Corps. You lead, you follow, or get the hell out of the way. But we can't keep going on like this. Okay. I don't want to hear any more. Okay. Because what's happened is the people of Huntington in the city of Huntington, okay, they've been conditioned with answers. Okay. Well, we ought to do this. Next person, no, we ain't got no money. How do we know? That's the city hall said so. City council said so. We can't do that. Why? City council said so. What if we do it? No, city says go. Okay. I'm sick and tired of hearing the same darn excuse. We ain't got no money. I'm sick and tired of hearing the excuse. Well, we just don't do it that way. I'm sick and tired of it. Well, it's not beneficial. It's not. We don't want to ecologically take care of honey. For God's sakes, we're in the piney woods. We don't promote. We can't. We can't promote sound right because bullshit. That's one of your biggest attractions right here. People don't come here for the food because there's a Sonic everything where. Give them a reason to come through here and stop. But I'm to the point now. I'm too old. I'm too old set in my ways right now. And the fact of the matter is that why am I doing this? I don't know. All I know is this. Is the fact is that, and people gonna laugh, scoff, whatever. I don't really give a shit. Hell, my own family does it to me. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, you know what? Hell, I served 1 year in Afghanistan, 9 years in the service. 1 year in Afghanistan, it seemed like freaking 50. Okay. But the whole time, but a lot of times, I get my spare time, but a lot of times I was on the convoy, so like I was thinking about this, about coming home to America. Coming home and being able to retire in a small town like this, to live out my years. Buy a nice house for me and my wife, keep her happy and have her in a nice place, and she can have things that she wants to. She loves the dog, she gets dogs. But the whole time over, I started thinking about stuff, and then I started thinking about when I got home, and the fact of the matter is that, you know what? There's a lot of individuals that I know, okay, or have known, that fought for the very damn rights you have right now. That sounds corny. I really don't give a rat's ass. They fought for it. Some of them died for it. Some of them are still over there in these places right now. You don't even realize they're over there. Never think about them. But you can dang sure think about what you want in your latte in the morning, can't you? Or your McDonald's. She might give you $1 million for a McDonald's hamburger over there. People, you ain't got no problems. The only problem you got is you won't get off your dead butt and get up and let's get something done around the city of Huntington, or whenever you're getting old and your age or whatever, you're sitting around, you know what? I'm proud of being from this town. I'm proud of being in this town. I like living here. That's the only goal that we've got, or should have. I want to have a place where my kids can grow up and go to school in a small town atmosphere, but still get a quality education. I want teachers to be recognized for what they do to teach our kids. I think we should have a Huntington Teachers Day. I really do. Get together up there at Centennial Park, and you know what? Make it a potluck so the city don't have to worry about the money. People bring potluck up there. Recognize the teachers. Probably half of them too damn honest. They wouldn't even want to go, but they would, because it's about the only damn thing we do for them. Now, we at a crossroads, and I think I've told y'all that. We don't have no money. Our infrastructure is going to hell in a handbasket, okay? And now it's come to a period of time where it's safety, okay? Let me give you an example. I don't want to have to worry about, and I shouldn't have to, and I don't think parents want to worry about this either. I don't want to worry about in the morning when I get up and go out, my kid goes outside the way to the bus stop, how much natural gas they're consuming. I don't want my child or my kids or little kids coming home from school knowing if they can drink the water. I don't want any kid to get on a bus and not to be able to get safely from point A to point B. I don't want a school bus driver having to navigate these type of obstacles to get their job done. It's like they're four-wheeling, Might as well just give them a four-wheeler and a darn low bar trailer, put some hay in there and haul the kids to school on that. That'd probably be safer. But the fact of the matter is you know what? It's got to be worth fighting for. And the thing about it is that, you know what? When I come back here and start living in Huntington, I was living in a military town up in Fort Lewis, up in Seattle up there, and that wasn't really a small town. I mean, Seattle, a big old town or whatever. Cold as hell too. But anyway, beside the point. I wanted to get back to a small town to where I could live out the rest of my days. My wife could live out the rest of her days. Get close to my family, I've neglected that. And I can tell you right now, I've done more things wrong than I've made so many bad decisions in my life, and you know what? It's one I'm still even here in this particular condition. And the same thing that probably about half of you people out there watching this video, there's things you've done around Huntington you probably ain't really proud of. I don't know what those are, and I don't want to know. Because the fact is, I made up my mind. I'm not going to judge you because who you were, what you come from, where your daddy came from, how much money you made, and what you what you did in high school. Everything that you've done up until this point, okay, all right, is the past. Everything anybody's you, it's like the Hatfields and McCoys. Pretty soon the Hatfields and McCoys just forgot all about what they were fighting for. What are you shooting him for? He's a McCoy. What are you shooting back? He's a Hatfield. Don't let it come down to that fact. Just because the fact is you don't know who they are, and make a determination who they are because based on what they drive and what status they go, and what church they go to, and who's their friends and who's not their friends. Make a determination on yourself who people are. Stop bitching about shit and get up and get it done. Sick and tired of people talking around here, bitching and whining and complaining about every damn thing. And then, you just ask, what are you going to do about it? Well, I can't do nothing. I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can. Find a way to get something done. Write your congressman. Write the city council. Write the county. Stay on their ass till you get an answer. And they say, well, no. Well, they say, well, why? you know? Get on a mission to do something. So, you know what? I'm going to find out why we can't do this. I mentioned to it before. Hell, make it a school, make it a home project where the kids got to do some research there on that computer, and then they got to come up with they can make a critical decision about that, and they can actually have a conversation with you about an issue that you know what, it probably wouldn't come up ever. But what are you doing? You're communicating with the kids. Like that old song says, you know what? You take your little daughter out and you go fishing, and she thinks we're just fishing, drowning worms and stuff. The whole time she's telling you about her ballet shoes and how, because she don't like her pink tights, she likes the white tights, and her favorite dress, she her favorite color. She knows who at the boards at school who picks boogers, who don't pick boogers, and who's a booger eater and who's not a booger eater. But you learn a lot about your daughter right there, and it's a little close. I mean, you do that with that town. I am going to hold a meeting. I don't know exactly what day because I don't. You guys have. I think we're wishing washing on what time we want to do it, whatever. But I'm aiming for the middle of next month. I don't know what day because I don't know what day is best for everybody. But you know what? I'm just going to put out a day there, and we're going to do it at the Civic Center. And guess what? You can show up if you want to. If you're interested in your town and you want to know what's going on in your town and you want to get some answers, you can have this meeting. If you want to actually come up with some ideas, we can actually, as a group of residents in the city of Huntington, address an issue with a group to the city council, that would be a good time to do it. I don't want a bitch and whine and complaining situation. I don't want people getting up and yelling at you because 20 years ago he dunked his head in the damn water, and did let him up in time. Ain't time for all that. What it's time for is move forward. Get yourself up, take a step forward, breathe in, breathe out, and let's start making our place better. Because the old boy said, like in that song, he says, I can't take nothing with her. The best thing about me is the ones I leave behind. And that's the truth. All the kids I done had and how I had them all, that ain't none of your damn business. But the fact of the matter is, I guarantee you one thing. Every one of them have made a positive impact, and they have learned that they can do something and that you can't tell them not to. And they did it. But the issue, fact is, I keep saying the issue, but anyway, there's a lot of issues. But anyway, my point is we need to get together and we need to actually come up with ideas. Put them on Facebook. Facebook should be blowing up with people talking about ideas, sharing ideas and having common issues. And you know what? Maybe by that, maybe by that, you know what? That old boy that you've been hating for 16 years, 15 years, or whatever, maybe, just maybe, you might like something about him. Or just maybe, you're not careful, or you don't like the way he thinks or whatever, but you know what? You respect him. Just stand up for what he believes in. And there's a place for that. Seems like we lost that in the fog, trying to be part of certain groups or whatever, trying our damnedest to be a part of groups, people or whatever, and then we forgot who in the hell we are. But I've come to a conclusion, and I'm going to finish this up. I've come to the conclusion, and then if I'm lying, I'm done. I've looked at this situation, and I've looked at a lot of situations. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of it to here. Okay. And the reason why is because the fact that I ain't that little dumbass that ran around while he was 18 years old. I ain't that dumbass that made that decision long ago. I learned from my damn mistakes, and I made a bunch of them. And I've learned by, and I'm speaking for everybody. We made some mistakes. We made some whatever, bad ones. And those mistakes will haunt you for the rest of your life. Because you know why? Like Clint Eastwood said, there ain't no forgiveness. So, what can we do? We can find something we believe in, and we go ahead and fight for it. Our town should be first. The individuals who work in this town, the individuals that treat our kids, the individual who drives our kids to school to get them to learn something, to give them a better education than what you get. Prepare them for college, prepare them for a trade school, prepare them to go out and be able to work. Have them go to college and major in something besides basketball. Having to go to college just so they can play football and they ain't gonna learn a damn thing. They never go to class, but they play football, or basketball, or baseball, or whatever. The opportunity to go to college, you know what? And I had it, and I missed out because I got hurt. Nobody gave a shit. All they cared about was, you know what? You can't play that. So I went into another group. But everybody in here that sees this video, if you live in the residence of Huntington or whatever, let me tell you this right now. No matter what people think of you, no matter how bad your brain gets dragged down the mud, no matter how many people talk about you, when you walk away from them, or they have a discussion about you when you're not even there, don't worry about it. You're better than that. You're better than that, and we're better than that. And I believe, because when I first came home back from Afghanistan and I moved down here, and well, when I got back and I went to Seattle, I was looking, and I've seen been a lot of places or whatever. Seen a lot of governments. I've seen a lot of stuff that was right that I thought was right. A lot of things I thought was wrong because of my upbringing. But the fact of the matter is, you know what? I learned from it, and what I learned, I didn't like. Because when I got back, the number one thing that I wanted to do was to heal up and go right back. Some of the things that Americans pulling today, and some of the things Americans getting away with, and where we've come today, is not the country I fought for. I dedicated myself to getting back over there as fast as I could. Because over there, you know what? People talk about you, they talk about you to face. If you've got a problem with you, they tell you to the face. Got a problem, letting you work it out. You know why? Because the fact is, the next morning you got to go, and that son of a gun is covering your butt, and you're covering his, and you got to be able to count on that. So let me put it in perspective for you individuals that live in Huntington. Okay, right now we got tornadoes going everywhere, all up north and the whole 9 yards. Okay, we got hurricane season coming up. Okay, if somebody's house is damaged in this area, okay, are you going to reach out and help them out? You going to bring them some water? You going to give them a place to stay because it's cold and they ain't got no place to go when it's raining. You going to give them that? You going to do that? Or are you at least going to find where there's a shelter where they can go get something to eat, where they can go get something to eat and get warm, take care of the kids while the crisis passes? Are you going to do that? Damn sure better. That's your neighbor. And you better think about, everybody start thinking about it, because you know what? I hope somebody does that for me. Respect is earned. And if you show somebody that you respect them, no matter what they believe, but you respect them as a human being, okay, we'll be a lot better off. Because we can move forward instead of dragging and staying down here in the darn past in the same mud we've been wallowing in for years. Let's get up out of the mud hole and let's walk up this way, get dry. Go toward the sun, get dry. But I tell you this right now, since I have decided this, the fact is, you know what? Okay, what can I do? Sit here and take this crap. Okay. People talk about me 15 years ago, 20 years ago, or whatever the hell, you know. Have no mind of recognition what I've already done, you know. Ain't nothing been good. People think about people like that. Well, what have you done lately? Well, I don't think I'll have to do anything again, you know. They told me to take an oath. I took an oath. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I thought that shit, I took that shit serious. I still live by that oath today. I'm a proud combat veteran, and I'm going to be a veteran, and I'm going to utilize everything that I can that was taught to me in the military to be a better person. It doesn't matter to me if you agree with me or not, but the one thing about it is you know where I stand when I leave. And I believe everybody in Huntington needs to take a step back and look at that and stop getting browbeat and saying, you know what, well, I can't never, you know, I can't never get over this hump because people don't forget. That ain't no forgetting. Go into that life right now like thinking everybody knows everything about you and they made an effort to know everything about you. Get ready. Backlash is going to happen. You're going to hear people say shit, whatever. But you know what? During the hard times like that, it's when, okay, you find out where your character's at. How do you react? Two ways, really. You can pissed off and fighting word. I mean, fight, physically. Or you can use your head. Do it legally. And that is the reason why I'm doing this right now with Huntington, and I'm actually taking an interest in in what I call my hometown. Is because the fact is there needs to be change, and there needs to be a reality spoken to people that are not going to wake up and say, we need to change this and we need help doing it. We need to stop looking at each other as if we're in the past and saying that we are not going to be worth more than that in the future. You need to believe in people and realize people can change. So the fact of the matter is, some going to like it, some not going to. Hell, my damn brother even kicked me out. I said, I can't even go down there for splitting my views. I don't even tell them no more. I know the way they think. Whatever. Sometimes you get in an argument with somebody, or sometimes you with somebody, and it don't make no difference. It don't make no damn how you approach it, what you do. The fact of the matter is, here's what's going to happen. They just going to disagree with you because you're you. Anything you believe they can't be for, okay? You got to realize there's people out there like that. Go on about your business. One person's opinion ain't going to make or break you. The only person you got to live with is yourself every night. And the only thing really jobs you got as a human being is make it better for the ones that are coming up behind us. That's it. Ain't your mama's daddy's responsibility to raise you after you've been out of college or whatever. Out of choice, 18, you going to work, you going to college, one of the two. It wouldn't make no difference. Right? You can stay here, but you're paying rent, you're paying utilities. Now, like, let me get out of here. But now, at times whenever you're 18, you are an individual, and you've been screaming for it all the time since you were 16, and we don't treat you like a grown-up. Well, guess what? Smack dab right in the middle, they're going to start slapping your face. Hey, the world going to slap you in the face. Driving that big truck with all that shit and that boom boom box and everything, you know what? You ain't gonna go through R with getting eight gallons, $8 a gallon. You ain't gonna go far. Maybe down the end of town and back. Probably don't have enough gas to turn around and come back home. But this statement is also for me and also to let you guys in the direction that I'm heading, whether you care or not. I'm going to actually stand up for something, and I'm actually going to utilize my knowledge that I learned through the military and the schooling that I got, and I'm going to put it forth and make a change here. I am going to quit worrying and take the chains off of me that are in my past. I am not no longer going to try to just get along with you so I can appease you just to make you happy. I'm not going to do that to anybody. I'm going to tell you what I think. If you don't want to hear it, don't come around. I think more people should start being honest first themselves, and then come into grips and say, you know what, this is where I screwed up. But the fact of the matter is other people judging people, that ain't your job. There's a man upstairs, it's his job to judge you. It ain't yours. Stop judging other people. Get to know. And just realize in the back of your head, hey, I don't know if he's doing right or wrong, but I'll tell you what, good Lord knows it. Next last thing is the fact is that you know what, we got a stand your ground law here. We got new laws breaking for the open carry and for concealed carry. and where you can carry your weapons. You can wear this gun on the outside of your pants. People, oh, they just want to be. No, I don't really, I don't really care about it what it looks like on me. Reason why I care is because the fact is I don't really trust a lot of people that are around me, and it's gotten to the point to where I have to protect myself. I want to put a promotion out there to Evans Brothers. They're the range out here. They're all what 291. Go down there. Go to the range. Get your weapons. Learn how to use it. Get your kids how to use it. And a good atmosphere where you know what, you got plenty of room and you can do that. Casey's a good old boy down there. You know, he don't say oh hell a lot to everybody, but he's very nice. He's very kind. Whatever. He's there to help you, and he does with all your shit you need. Now, let's tell us if anybody learned this from this video. The first thing you thought right then. How many raised you? How many said, "What are you getting out of it?" See, I know you. So the issue remains, and it's still always going to be the thing. And I'll keep saying issue, and I know my mom's going to look at it and say, "Well, you shut up about the issues." But for me, I'm going to try to make this place a better place to live. I done lived most of my life. I'm on a downhill slide. But I can spend the rest of my life making the life that is here and anywhere else better for individuals that are coming up. I can't say I'm going to make it a lot easier. I can try, but I don't know if it's going to be a lot easier. So what I tend to do is I'm going to prepare people whenever they are prepare the young kids and people whenever they get ready to step out in that real world. You know what? Getting ready to get slapped square in the face. So the issue is no longer, God dang the issue. The fact of the matter is, like I said, I like to say that. Okay, the fact of the matter is that you got to be willing to accept the same thing over and over a day, or you can actually do something to change it. You can actually look at a person, okay, and maybe see the good in them. No matter what walk of life they come from, or know how much income they make, or what they do for a living. I mean, I've said this before: what your daddy did, what your mama did, whatever. You know, that ain't you. I don't care what they did. Okay, that ain't me. I didn't do it. Another subject comes up here in the South all the time. Fact is, just because the fact is, you know what? I looked at the Confederate flag and I don't see no racist. I was a history buff. I thought about racism about the Civil War. Hell, I even read books about the Civil War. I still do today. That's my that is my it's one of my relax. Read up on the battles of the Civil War. Hell, in battles general because I was in the military. I'd always ask, what if we did this? What if they did that? What if they do this? What if, you know? So that's just my pet peeve, whatever my hobby. But the issue is the fact is that you gotta understand that that flag represents something else besides just being racist. There are a lot of people who died in that war, both sides. People say it was about slavery. Well, I hate to bust your bubble here because the fact is that if it was about slavery, okay, slavery may have an issue in it, okay. But if it was such a big deal about racist or being racist, how come the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't signed till 3 years into the Civil War? Because the fact is that Abraham Lincoln didn't like black people. He was a racist. Because the fact is look, how many kids you know when they come out in the hospital when they're raised, okay, are they racist? They're trained to be that way. That's what they taught. That's what they're taught. That's what they see around them. And they don't just learn it from you, okay? They learn it from their environment. So I am thinking about on the 15th. No, I don't know what day they is, but anyway, I'll work out the days or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to invite everyone, and I hope that everyone will RSVP so I know how many people we have coming to have an open discussion on how we can make this place better. This is your time. This is just the people's time. This is not this is not being attended as a city council meeting. As a matter of fact, the city council members, they have their time once a month to address the public. This time, we're going to have a meeting where we address each other and come up with a subject where we can address the city council. I want to educate it as well. I'm not educated either. I want to have a serious discussion about what we think we can do differently here. I don't want to turn it into a fist fight, to a brawl, or he said, he should. No, we're not. We're above that. But I want to start. It's got to start somewhere, and the best place for it to start is with us, the grassroots people who it affects first. Because everything this city council does, whatever decision they make, whether you like it or not, affects everybody in Huntington. We're that small town, and one way or another, it affects you. So isn't it about time we have to say so? What happens to us? City council members, hey, you can come if you want to, but this is not your floor, and we're not going to spend all day long telling us, giving us excuses. We've said them all over again. I'm going to actually make it an open discussion for the people in the city council. If they want to, they can talk afterwards. I can't because it's a public meeting, whatever. But if I had my way, I wouldn't even invite the city council, so that way we could actually talk freely amongst ourselves without the fear of backlash, without the fear of going to church and being compared to somebody on Sunday morning, without people telling you ain't a good Christian, or telling you that you ain't that because you didn't go to college that you ain't worth, you don't really have an opinion or whatever. Well, I'll tell you this right now. This is the way I feel from now on. I went to college at the University of Afghanistan. I majored in not getting myself blowing up, and number two, I minored in killing people. What they asked me to do. I don't give a rat's ass if you believe in it or not, but the fact of the matter is there are people over there and have went before me that have done that. For your right to bitch and burn the flag. And act like go up there and get elected, some act like a zip-zap fool. We got to start somewhere, people. I think we start our hometown. I think we start here. Change only starts if somebody initiates it. Change only happens if people actually get behind it and actually support it and do it. Don't sit there and talk about it, be about it. That's the way you survive in a firefight. You figure out a way to beat the other individual. I'm going to use those same damn tactics with everybody. I'm too damn old, I'm too damn tired, and I hurt too damn bad. Try to conform to be the way person you want me to be. My name is Steve. I hope that you hit me back on this Facebook. Let's RSVP. Hope you hit me back and cuss me out. That'd be fine too. I've been called worse. Marine Corps kind of taught me that. Matter of fact, they taught me a bad thing too, because the fact is I can't watch my language because I cuss like a sailor. I'm a Marine. I cuss like I'm in the military. It's the way we talk. People get offended by it. Get over it. Again, my name is Steve. I welcome any feedback, any comments, and I'd like for everybody to RSVP for me and let me know if you guys are going to be able to attend. I'm going to try to get a head count on how many we're going to get there. And when we have an actual head count, it's going to be worth all of us getting together, then I will let everybody know and I'll invite you out. This is Steve, and I am out. You guys have a good evening. God bless. Keep your powder dry. Keep mama happy. Keep good water on them dogs. You'll be all right.